Yo, Cowboys Nation TV. I got a really special occasion, and it's so cool because when I ask, they come, and that's just how we rock. I do post game with Voch after every game, and just the fact that he's able to, first of all, lock in for a whole game and keep you guys entertained. He's the GOAT. And then Joe Rod Cowboys vlog. Just I say he just comes with great content, great information. He's been doing that since we've been working. So I said, let's get these two together. Let's talk some ball on this Friday night. It's raining where I'm at. Guys, how you guys doing tonight?
Going live with Foots.
It's good, bro.
D.A. King, ampersand, that's and sign. Joe Rod.
Hey, that's dope. That got a nice little ring to it, don't it?
Tap in.
All right.
Hey, man, appreciate you for having me on, Foots. You know what I mean? Foots hit me up 26 minutes ago. Say, Voch. Voch, what you want to do, man? I say, hey, man, I can't do Foots like that, man. Foots be working with me, man. Foots be coming to work for me, man. So I can't do it like that, man. So shit, let's load everything up, man. Let's get in there and talk some Washington football Wizards. I'm not gonna call them Commanders. I refuse.
No Commanders.
I refuse. But what's good though? What's good though? Let's get in there.
Man, how you feel?
It's been a minute, man.
Oh, that's what I was about to say. Hey, Joe, how are you, bro?
What's up, man? This is a special event, man. These are like the goats up in here, man. It's an honor, it's a privilege, bro.
Yeah.
You know.
No, and I think it's cool because we're coming together. First of all, this isn't like the round table, the big shebang, but I will say this. I'm gonna start off with a topic that's near and dear to our heart, and that's the draft, and that's team building. I think that this group over here leans more. I don't want to speak for you guys, but we lean more toward draft and develop. So I'm just gonna jump right in. Joe, Voch, we covered Tyler Smith, right?
Sure.
What did we miss on this guy? I liked him coming out. I liked the pick, but he's even exceeding my expectations. Voch, you've done some good work on him. You guys take that away.
Listen, so Foots, there's this thing in draft world, man. We can't be, we can't live and die by the fans and what they say, what these other Cowboy fans say, man. We can't be like, oh, Voch, you was wrong about XYZ. You owe us an apology, okay? Let me tell you something. Somebody I was wrong about. I can't even think right now, but listen, this is why we weren't wrong about Tyler Smith, okay?
Correct.
We watched the film on Tyler Smith come out of Tulsa. We all said the same things. We said, man, that dude's strong. That dude big. That dude can move. That dude's aggressive. Did you see him take fella way over there? Okay, he's at Tulsa, so let's see what the competition is, right? Oh, well, let's see his Ohio State film. He did good versus Ohio State. Okay, but the technique can still give you problems. The gap exchanges can give you problems. The holding, the hand placement can give you problems. So everybody said the same thing, Foots. Hey, he'd be a fantastic guard. Just put him in the phone booth and let him whoop people. Let him be strong as hell. Let him work on those inside exchanges. If he's going to have to play tackle, he's going to need some work first. Is that not what we all said?
That's fair.
That's what we all said, Foots. The problem is, he comes out, day one, year one, okay, Tyler, we only want you playing guard. And then just out of nowhere, he has to play tackle. Then out of nowhere, him having to play tackle, he got to play gangsters. He got to play Trey Hendrickson, who had 18 and a half sacks last year. He got to play Shaq Barrett, who led the league in sacks 2 years ago. So we're looking at Tyler Smith overcoming those obstacles, and we going, well, shit, why wasn't he in the conversation with Ikem Ekwonu and Evan Neal and guys like Charles Cross? Because we weren't wrong. We watched the film. His hand play, he didn't look like a great tackle. He looked like a dude that'd be a fantastic guard, a fantastic offensive lineman in general, but he didn't look like a fantastic tackle. We can't account for what these dudes do in the offseason, Joe, and Foots. We don't know what's happening at Duke Manyweather's magical academy of ass whoop improvement. You know what I mean? We don't know what they're doing behind the scenes, right? As draft evaluators, we cannot continue to put ourselves in this place where, well, maybe I'm going to apologize to Tyler Smith. Not apologizing to Tyler Smith. He worked hard. There's nothing on Tulsa film. You know what I'm saying? There's this thing back in the day, man. VH1 had this thing pop-up video. Phil Collins would be singing at the bottom left. They'll be like, oh, Phil Collins loves gravy and biscuits. Just little small facts at the bottom. It's not like we're watching film and at the bottom it says Tyler's gonna work with Duke Manyweather and fix all his hand shit. We don't have that, Foots. So based on our evaluation, we were not wrong. We just didn't know he was gonna work that hard and fix it in 3 months. But I love the player though. I love the kid.
You said something and you said hand placement. Joe, jump in there. What are you seeing from Tyler? Is this a pleasant surprise for you? Talk about it.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say it's a pleasant surprise. I think it's I think that this is the career arc, but it came a little sooner than we thought. You know what I mean? Like I think that that when he got drafted, he's gonna be a left side player. Okay, so what does that mean? Left guard, left tackle, right? So he gets the reps in the mini camps at left tackle a little bit, and then left guard, and then in training camp left guard. So and then we knew that this injury was going to happen with Tyron, right? I mean, it's just a matter of when. So it came early again, so there he is, man. He's putting his work in, and he's doing his thing, man. He's mauling people, finishing blocks down the field. That's what you want. You want a guy who finishes, and we got him.
And so I think that what needs to be said is he was over prepared, and what Voch is saying is he came in ready to work. And I guess to your point, Voch, I think that's what you want in your first round draft pick, right? Sure. You want a guy who, listen, if you would have told me that he's going to play the way he's played this early, not only is it a testament to the coaches, it's a testament to they coached him up. I got into it with a guy on Twitter, and I didn't get into it, but I wanted to explain to him, like, listen, at Tulsa, he did this, he did that. Well, listen, there should be a difference between Tulsa level coaching and the Cowboys level of coaching. Like we always say, especially when we're doing draft talk, Voch, development doesn't stop when you get to the league. And I think another thing that I've noticed, and you've done film on it, Kellen is calling things that mirror what he does best. He's not catching the whole game. They're letting him be aggressive. So to me, I think that, listen, we talked about this, Voch, and we could really dive in here. We can go now. Do you keep him there because of how good he's played?
Now, Foots.
Now, Voch.
I don't want to be the only Cowboy guy telling Tyler Smith to move back to left guard, but here's my reasoning for this, though, Foots. I think Tyler Smith is a good left tackle right now. I think he has a much better future for left tackle than I previously forecast. But he put in the work. Duke Manyweather sprinkled a little magic on him. Cool, just a little bit of magic on him. I still think Tyler Smith is a good tackle right now.
Correct.
But it ain't like he's like Rashawn Slater or something at tackle. You feel me? Just watching the film the past couple weeks, Tyler Smith has been doing fantastic with context of what we expected from him, right? We didn't expect him to be a great tackle, but he goes out there and he beating the dude. Look, we're not losing because of him, Foots, and that's half of offensive line. Hey, look, you ain't killing us right now, so you good. You know what I mean? Tyler Biadasz still got a job because he don't really kill us sometimes. He's not giving us this. Week one, Bills versus Rams. Joe Noteboom out there versus Von Miller. Like, yo, Noteboom killing us right now. We can't have this. You know what I mean? Or like, Lael Collins versus Micah Parsons weeks. Yo, Lael is killing us right now. We're not going into that. Yeah, we're not in that situation where Tyler's killing us right now. To be fair, Terrence Steele been your better tackle over the past couple weeks. But
talk about it, Voch. Talk about it.
We'll talk one day. But in my mind, though, Foots, I think Tyler Smith is getting the job done. I think he's doing well. I think he's fantastic, and I think he's playing good enough for you to leave him there. I just think he could be a Pro Bowl guard right now. And my big problem here, and not even a problem, this is a good problem to have, by the way. He could play both. But my problem is that if you leave him at left tackle, but he's an amazing guard, going into draft season next year, what we gonna say, Foots? All right, y'all, we need a guard, Tyler Smith at tackle. When in real life, I would like to find the best offensive lineman I can find and then put Tyler Smith in the opposite of that. You understand what I'm saying? What if we go in the next draft and we got Tyler Smith? We may look over some dude, some Rashawn Slater type dude, and go, well, we got tackle, so we don't need that. Hell no. Like if I can find the best tackle I can find that can play some good ass tackle, or somebody that's better than, this dude at tackle better than what we can get from Connor McGovern at guard or like Fournier at guard. I'm looking for a dude that'll give me a reason to put Tyler Smith back at guard. Because I feel like Tyler Smith is I'm about to say Hall of Fame. Well, y'all know how I get, man. I feel like Tyler Smith could be incredible at guard, but he's good at tackle. But if we can't find a tackle that's as good as Tyler Smith, all right, cool. Then we'll just leave Tyler Smith at guard. Then we'll leave Tyler at tackle, and we'll find a serviceable guard. So I'll let him do both. It just depends on what we find over the next few months of draft season. Because regardless of what's gonna happen, Jason Peters gonna be 41. He ain't gonna be here. Tyron Smith said, "Ouch, ouch," too many times. This may be his last season. So we need to find an offensive lineman somewhere, whether it be guard or tackle. And Connor McGovern not getting money from us. So we're gonna have to find an offensive lineman early at some point.
I like it, bro. Joe, go ahead and disagree so we can turn this thing up a little bit, please.
Let's go, Joe.
No, so for me, like I want to keep him at left tackle because, like I said, I think that's where they envision him at. If they wanted to move him at guard, they would have done it. Here maybe they would have already put Peters here for a few snaps. You know what I mean? For me, I want the continuity. The whole offseason, McCarthy, end of the year presser, continuity. That's like the key word this offseason, right? So if they're going to preach it, they need to follow through with it and not just be empty words. So keep him there. You know what I mean? I'm expecting the Cowboys to be in that 15 to 32
later
range,
and that's hard to find your hot tackle.
That's your hot spot for the guards, right? Your premier tackles, that upper range, right? I mean, you can get a
Joe. We just found a premier tackle at 24 last year. Joe, what do you mean, Joe? What do you mean?
No, we did, but I'm talking in general.
Studies.
In general, in general, that doesn't happen. Now the Cowboys, they do excel in this department. Obviously,
they do. They do. Got to give them credit.
And like you said, man, it's a good problem to have, right? So we know it's not going to be McGovern, hopefully, and so get another Mullen guard, and this draft class is going to have some. So I feel good about it. It's not really because I feel better about going into the season not having to worry about Tyron over here doing his crap and he's put it in. He's put in the work. Great player, one of the best that's ever played the game. You know what I mean? But
Voch, to Joe's point, and it kind of, I think nobody's wrong here because the truth is this: Voch, your guy from Kentucky, and you were high on him, is killing right now at guard. And so, what's my guy's name?
Kennard, Darian.
Yes, he's playing great. And I was
also our boy Ingram from LSU.
No, excuse me, Ingram, not Kennard. Ingram is killing. Ingram is he's starting, and so I think studies have told us like you can get a guard at that sweet spot, even in a second, versus a tackle. And let's be honest, Dallas, I wouldn't say they fell into Tyler Smith, but they kind of did because they did have plans to keep him inside, and everything that I saw, in the preseason, just the power is unreal. Like power, if you tell me that I'm gonna have a guy who is going to maul people and he doesn't get tired of it, but now you're seeing, okay, guys, he actually does have better feet than we think. He actually did clean the hand placement up for the most part. It's at times he got a little grabby down the goal line. You saw one rep where he could have got called for that holding, but it's football. It happens. He's not going to play every rep clean.
This is my thing, Foots, and I'm kind of working on this theory. I haven't made it solid just yet, but hey, we're on your show. We're gonna go ahead and talk about it on your show. This ain't concrete yet. I think the best offensive lines are really good on the guard and center spots. You know what I'm saying? And of course, the tackles get the big noteworthy attention, right? They get they got to go block the ends, they got to block the edges and pass rushes. But I really think the soul of your offensive line comes from the interior. And I think when the Cowboys were really, really good on the offensive line, we was good at left guard, center, right guard. We was fantastic at left guard, center, right guard.
Absolutely.
Even to a point to where, oh man, Tyron get hurt, we fine because we good at left guard, center, right guard. I think there's something to that, right? So when you talk about Tyler and his power and how great he is on the inside, I just don't want the Cowboys to be fine at guard. I don't want us to be okay. I don't want us to be comfortable at guard because our last couple guards have been Connor Williams, Connor McGovern, Fournier is a guy, and they're fine.
It's been a revolving door outside of Zach Martin.
They're cool, Foots the King, but I want an MFer at guard. You feel me? And I think Tyler Smith is a MFer. You know what I mean? And I think that dude at guard, he makes Biotish better. Biotish ain't gonna be here very long. But he makes Biotish better. And I think Biotish is better when he got two MFers on both sides of him, right? And you know. I know at some point Tyron Smith is going to come back and make this conversation weird for Cowboy Nation, the front office, the coach staff.
He's the best sixth man in the league for me. No.
For sure. I'm ready to move on from him. I'm
Joe been on that. Joe been on that train for a while, and I give Joe credit for that. And you know,
sure.
we fell into it. Let me ask you this, and let me do a shout out real quick. I want to shout out JC Cowboys Network. You guys show him a lot of love. One thing for sure. We came into the game as young YouTubers, and we've been putting in the work, and I see this guy putting in the work, and we're not too big to shout out and show love to people. So shout out to you, homie. You've been following us, and we appreciate you. We were high on Devin Lloyd. Devin Lloyd is playing great football for the Jags. I actually have the Jags defeating the Eagles. It's going to be a sneaky game for Philly. Jags team is built kind of sneaky now, Voch. But this isn't Eagles talk. This isn't Jags talk. Let's get into –
So we were high on Lloyd, right? But I do think there's something to the idea of spending premium picks and where you put premium picks, right? Because my guy's on the list, right? And look, there's gonna be some people in the chat, but Voch, we can go to your video. You was upset about the Tyler Smith pick, yeah, but you can also find me and Foots, saying good things about Tyler. We like Tyler Smith, but. Shit, Nakobe Dean was on the board, and I love Nakobe Dean. You know what I'm saying? Carl Loftus was on the board. Like different guys that I liked were on the board, and I just felt like, hey man, if you take this and compound it with an Ed Ingram, dog, you can give me what's our man George Pickens?
Carl Loftus. Oh, Pickens, yeah,
Pickens.
You get Pickens in a second, yeah.
You shitting me? I'm trying to get Pickens. You know what I mean? So it's not that we hated any of these guys. It's I just think that when it was time for Dallas to draft, I think everybody had about 8 dudes on their board that we liked, and I don't think Tyler Smith was one of them because he was a guard that had hand problems. But hey, he fixed his hand problems. We good. You know what I'm saying?
And I think and I want to give this staff credit.
Sure.
And this is my next question. Guys, I'm going to come out and I'm going to give a couple apologies. I'm going to give one apology to Noah Brown. Completely wrote him off. Called him a guy. I'm not too proud to say that he's more than a guy. Is he fast? Nope. Is he super shifty? Nope. Is he going to catch everything? Yep. Is he going to do the dirty work and kick out Kayvon Thibodeau and stick his nose in there against linebackers? Like, he's a football player. In a game filled with a lot of divas, a lot of guys who don't want to get dirty, Noah Brown will do the dirty work. He'll consistently do the dirty work, and he belongs on this roster, Voch, and I owe him an apology. I owe Kellen a ongoing respect factor because I want to continue to see how he does things. Now, Voch, you've done a great job of outlining his run game stuff.
Sure.
And Kellen is finally getting his guards and tackles on the move. He's running GT. He has a better feel in the run game. Speak on Joe. Joe, I want you to jump in. We tried to, and I'm going to get on Cowboys Nation about this. All of y'all tried to put Tony and Zeke against each other, and I don't appreciate it.
Yeah,
you can't have one without the other in this scheme. Joe, what are your thoughts on both? Zeke, Tony, the run game. Talk to me.
Clearly, Pollard is still the guy who can give you that burst, right? And Zeke is more of like your power runner, right? So I don't know. Kellen, sometimes he makes a good play call. Sometimes he doesn't. You know what I mean? Like I said, I've said the tosses, the pitches. I prefer that myself to go to Pollard. I just think he has better speed to execute it than Zeke. But Zeke did have one in this last game, and he executed the hell out of it. You know what I mean? But you had Tyler blocking the crap out of people down the field. So it was great, man. I love Tyler Smith right now. I think he's been a great upgrade to this offensive line. We're not as predictable, always running to the right side. Now we can actually run to the left side. That opens things up, man. So it's good. I think our running game is running good. I wouldn't say it's excellent by any means, but you know, it's you have balance. You know what I mean? We're not one dimensional, and that's key. You know what I mean? You can't be one dimensional in this league. So
Yeah, and I think when you see Kellen do certain things, like, okay, hey Kellen, we don't want to see a reverse, but it's pretty dope that you use that orbit motion and you run that jet and then you pull Tyler. Okay, that's okay, Kellen. That's a green check, right, Voch? Run game now looks right, Joe. That looks like
yeah.
okay, you're game planning. I do believe personally that Mike went into Kellen's office and said, Kellen, I don't want to call plays. I didn't like the reports getting out that Kellen didn't know the offense. Because the truth of the matter is, that Mike didn't know the offense. Because the truth of the matter is, anybody who's been on the sideline, high school, little league, you give your OC the job, and as a coach, you tell them what you want to see. Hey, they're in cover 3. Let's attack this area of the field. Hey, they're in cover 4. Hey, they're blitzing. Let's get the ball out quick. Who's supposed to know your offense is your OC, like the back of his hand, and so is your quarterback. I think that Mike went in there and said, listen, let's settle down. Let's settle down. Let's run the ball. Let's get in the flow. Let's take the 3. Let's take the 2. Then the 7, the 9, the 15 will pop. Voch, do you see any change in Kellen Moore's approach, at least?
I think your offensive line is so much better, honestly. And Kellen does have something to do with it, right? Because I did see some different kind of ways that they set up blocks or whatever. They'll last year it'll be like, okay, everybody outside zone blocking to the right, and that'll be our way of outside zone blocking, right? But this time,
movement.
You know what I'm saying? But like there was this one play last week to where we were running the ball to the right, but the offensive line was inside zoning left, wide receiver on the right side cracked, and Noah Brown in motion was like a pull and kick guy.
That was so dope. I know exactly what player you're talking about.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, okay, cool. So we're doing different things, right? But I in my mind, what really makes this thing go is your offensive line. And I think that your run game is going to get much, much better over the next couple of weeks because of your running backs. If you just watch the film, you'll see that Zeke and Tony kind of leave a little meat on the bone, man. Where the hell is Joe Randall when you need him? They leave a little meat because I think it's because they have to get into a flow with each other. You know what I mean? The offensive line, running backs, they have to flow with each other. And if you use somebody getting their ass whooped, then you may be a little less prone to run behind that person. Terrence Steele, second time saying his name, Terrence Steele and Zach Martin as a run blocking combo. Watch my film. Those dudes are
watch this film.
They're moving people. Terrence Steele got so much better than he was last year.
I say this? Me and Joe, not to cut you off, Voch. I won't do it again this show. And Joe, I'm gonna speak, and I know Joe will say this too. I owe Terrence Steele the biggest apology, Voch. I was so wrong about him. I was wrong. No, man, I was, man. I don't know. Maybe we developed better than a lot of people, Joe. I did not have Terrence Steele on this team, Joe. I didn't have him on this team 2 years ago.
No, but Joe, you understand what I'm saying? When I'm saying we're not responsible for how well somebody played. I watched Terrence Steele at Texas Tech. They threw the ball 60 times, Foots. 60 times at Tech. They don't run the football at Texas Tech. He go to the Senior Bowl. He was undefeated. He ain't win not one rep at the Senior Bowl. Trash in the Senior Bowl game. His rookie year was trash. Now he can run block. Now he can pass.
He's the nastiest lineman on our team.
But he's second. He about second to Zach Martin. I agree. But how the hell are we supposed to know, Foots? How the hell are we supposed to know Terrence Steele? Look, Terrence and that Duke Manyweather's magical fairy cracked us again. That motherfucker need a raise. We need to put some money in the gift card of his ass or something. Just send all our people to him. Joe Philbin owe him some money for just improving his dudes in this way. Joe ain't got nothing to do. This is Duke Manyweather, baby. This old line masterminds right here. Terrence Steele and what he's done for just the he's not a liability at all. He's not a liability at all, Foots. And think about where we were last year, right? This is something you can apologize, Foots. Watch this. You ready? Watch this. This is Voch apologize right here. Terrence Steele better than Lael Collins. And, partially because, Lael had the whole hip thing, right? And, to be fair, I wasn't privy to how bad, Lael's hip was. And I didn't know that, the motherfucking hip wasn't going to recover in that way. But if Lael's hip ain't going to get better, then Terrence Steele should have been the guy all last year. And I didn't notice it till this year, but we were at our best running the football when Terrence was playing. We didn't start missing in the run game till Leal went back in the game. Now we know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now we know, you know what I'm saying? You know, medicals and all that. You know, I don't have the doctor phone number in my phone or whatever, but Terrence Steele is an improvement at right tackle than you were last year. Zach is Zach. Tyler is Tyler, but Tyler got a little bit better. Biotish. And now your left guard and left tackle situation. And I hope the Cowboys don't get cute. Sorry, Foots, this was supposed to be about apologies. I hope the Cowboys don't get cute and sit Jason Peters and put Connor McGovern back in the game just because his ankle feel good. Leave Jason Peters out there because Biotish is better with him. Tyler Smith is better with him. Let's roll this Jason Peters thing until Jason goes out because he's prone to do that, or until whatever else happens. But I'm fine with Smith, Peters, Biotish, Zach, and Terrence Steele. And that's why the most part, I think your run game is better. Because in real life, you got better at 3 spots on your offensive line. Who was the backup left tackle last year? It was who was it? Like a Fleming or something. It was one of the Cams.
It was Cam.
Kentucky, maybe.
Maybe in second.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So Tyler Smith is better than Ty Nsekhe. All Jason Peters got to do is be better than Connor Williams. Biotish got to beat himself from last year. Zach is Zach, and Terrence still better than Leal Collins. That's why your run game look better, and the running backs.
I think too, Voch, and all great points, and I think too. And we'll get into it when we talk about the Redskins. The Commanders. The Wizards. Whatever you want to call them today. I think we'll get into it. There aren't a lot of good offensive lines around the league. There aren't, guys. Chat box. There aren't a lot of good offensive lines around the league. And it goes back to what Voch is saying, drafting and don't get complacent, because I do believe if you can be decent up front, not even great, just decent, you'll be in games. We're watching the Giants. They're a dumpster fire. You're watching the Commanders. They're a dumpster fire. You're watching the Bengals. They're a dumpster fire. Okay, here we go. This will be our last offensive topic, and then we'll get into this defense, and then we'll get into the Commanders. Guys, I got Voch with me. I got Joe with me. We got time. These guys are GOATs, and I just want to thank them throughout the show, and I'm going to. Now, Cooper Rush. No, there is not a quarterback battle. We're not going to do that on this channel. We're not the 4-letter network. We're not going to do any of that. However, Michael Gallup is coming back, Voch. It's reports that he is going to play against the Commanders home game. Cooper Rush has done what he's supposed to do as a backup quarterback. He's probably made himself some money. We'll see what happens in the offseason. If he gets another deal with somebody else, well, who knows? That being said, Joe, I want you to answer me this. Will the offense open up more with Gallup coming back, or will we kind of stay where we've been and say defense win us games, and then we're going to transition to defense? Joe, take it, and then Voch jump in.
It should, right? Because if you look at the depth chart, Michael Gallup, the talent is obviously, way better than what you have on the bottom there, like Fehoko or Turpin or even Noah Brown, right? So putting him in the lineup, I think you're doing good. You're getting better, but the expectations, I think, shouldn't be too high. You know what I mean? Like you don't want to get let down. Like, oh, he's in here, and we're gonna be all badass and shit now. You know what I mean? They're gonna work him in a little bit. I don't think they're gonna give him full load right off the bat. You know what I mean? Because I just don't want him to get hurt. You know what I mean? So we need the deep threat. I think that'll be evidence. You know what I mean? He's really good at that deep ball, catches the high point. So it should, man. It should improve. The question is, who's not going to be on the field with him on there?
Voch, talk about it.
Cowboys got till November to get this offense right. They got till November. I have no problem with this defense. I actually wish I could just run a little simulation, just see what this defense would look like versus versus like Miami. Like what would our defense look like versus Buffalo or something? You know what I mean? Because at this point, Voch get arrogant as hell with my team. Look, when we good anywhere, I'm just arrogant as hell. I think our defense can whoop any offense in the league. Foots. Joe Foots. I think we can hold anybody under 20 points because I think we hold the the mismatch advantage, and you know how like sometimes you just bad matchups for people. You know what I mean? Like we may not have all the stars in the world. I mean, we got Micah Parsons, it's a hell of a star. But even if you took away Micah Parsons, right? I still think we're physical on the D line to where we can match up with any offensive line and play a good game that I call on my channel, Find the Scrub. Okay. You're not going to find an offensive lineman that got 5 killers across the front. The closest you'll get to it is the Browns. And they're not going to be in the playoffs. We don't even worry about them. But I feel like even if you go, because look, the Bucs offensive line in theory is a good offensive line.
Some injuries there now.
But they trash at guard for even if they healthy. Put their center back in place. They left guard trash. Let's go play Find the Scrub with the left guard. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not adding Micah right now. We just talking, right? The Bengals, okay, cool. We can find the scrub with 5 of y'all. The Giants, they got Andrew Thomas. We can find the scrub with 4 of y'all. No matter what team you go against, you got to play Find the Scrub with however many offensive linemen that you can. This week versus Watch Football Wizards, they just happen to have 5 scrubs we can take advantage of. But I feel like our defensive line as a whole, we can play Find the Scrub with them dudes. No matter what team that we're going against. Bills, Chiefs, Packers, pick a team. So in my mind, our defense ain't the problem. What I need is for my offensive line to keep improving. I need my offense coordinator to whatever the little shit, the stuff he's doing right now, I need him to do that when Dak come back. Okay, I need my running backs to continue to mold with my offensive line. I need Gallup to just continue to get healthy. I need CD to continue to develop as a wide receiver 1. He got the skill, but the mind games get him sometimes. He's going to continue to develop as a wide receiver 1. Noah Brown is going to spot work wherever he can get him. Jalen Tolbert is going to continue to get better. Dalton Schultz is going to be playing in Jacksonville next year, but whatever. But what? Because we ain't giving him $16 million because Jake Ferguson killed shit.
I seen enough out of Hendershot and Ferguson. I'm like you. I tweeted it. I said I didn't miss Dalton Schultz, and I'm the Dalton Schultz leader.
Whatever happens, Foots, we got until November to really figure things out. We may not be the offense we were last year, technically, but all we got to do is get hot enough to be able to put points to I say 30 points. Because last year it was 40 burger. If we put up 30 points on anybody, what offense putting 31 on us? What offense putting 31 on our defense? If we can get to 30 points, we good, Foots and Joe.
You've held teams to 7 touchdowns. 3 touchdowns all year. I think that this defense is out of sight. And let's transition, Joe and Voch. Let's talk about this defense. Let's talk about, first of all, Dorrance Armstrong. I won't say I owe him an apology, but I remember me and Joe were at the Go ahead, drop it, Joe. Go ahead, drop it, Voch. That's dope. Mm-hmm. We were all at the draft when Dorrance Armstrong was drafted. And I think there's another case of, April Showers just said it, draft and develop, draft and develop, draft and develop.
I love April, man. Shouts out to April. Love
Shout out to April. Shouts out to everybody in the chat. So much. You look at a team in the Cowboys who say, we're just not going to go in on free agency. Then you look at a team in the Commanders who are gonna jump in free agency, gonna win the off season, that part of the off season. And the fact of the matter is, the way things are turning out, guys like Dorrance now look like players because you strike on a Micah Parsons, who I'm not saying that Dorrance isn't a player, but he's clearly gotten better, right, Voch? And so this defensive line,
this is so interesting. Hold on, first time out. Don't bear the lead, Foster King, because I feel like you're gonna move around a little bit and lose this. I just looked up Randy Gregory's numbers.
Here we go, Joe.
I just looked them up. Randy Gregory got a total of 7 tackles, 5 solos. Dorrance Armstrong got 7 tackles, 5 solos. Randy Gregory got 2 sacks. Dorrance got 3. Could have had 4, but a little holding joint took 1 back from him. Could have had 4.
Talk your talk.
Could have had 4. Similar number of stuffs here. They got stuffs. Randy Gregory got a forced fumble, but Dorrance Armstrong got a kick block.
Hey, that was a big play, huge play.
Dorrance Armstrong probably making about a good $10 million less than Randy Gregory right now.
Oh, but they hate Steven. Don't get me started on Steven. Hey, hold on. Hey, listen. Let me tell you something. I strategically put this group together because we are team draft. Me, Voch, and Joe gonna find you a way to make your team better through the draft, through the Senior Bowl. We're not gonna go too much into it. We'll do some shows later. But before I get to the defense as a whole and our game plan, is it safe to say? Because I'm gonna say this with my chest. I really think people forgot just how good not Randy Gregory. They really forgot how good DeMarcus Lawrence really is.
Come on, man.
Like, we got spoiled with 11.
Come on, man.
DeMarcus Lawrence is different.
Come on, man.
Joe, Voch, talk to me. Is this D-line a top 5 unit in the league?
And you know what, Foots?
Could be.
Not only that, Foots, but you're doing it with a second round defensive end that you drafted, a fourth round defensive end that you drafted. Bohanna, what, 6th round?
Team building. Hold on, but they want to draft. They want to get every free agent. Hold on, I
would love to get Von Miller. Don't get me mistaken. I would love to have Von Miller right now, but
you got to pay Micah Parsons and you got to pay Trayvon Diggs. And
I will push Diggs off a bridge to have Von Miller on this team right now. So I'm sorry, but you know these guys, bro. You know, like even Noah Brown, who's been around for a while, you drafted him in day 3. He's the guy that you drafted. You know what I mean? You know, I think sometimes Cowboy fans don't like the idea that the top of our team could be better. But man, just every time we go, man, what we gonna do with Dorrance? 4th round pick Dorrance. And Dorrance he up there with sack numbers with Micah. I think him and Micah got 4. Dorrance got 3. D-Long got 3. Dorrance supposed to have 4. He up there with you guys. Now look, Dorrance talent-wise ain't Micah, sure. But at the end of the day, this is about production. What are you doing on the field? Dorrance is doing on the field, and he's an important special teams guy for you. You can't beat that. You got him in the 4th round. Draft and develop is a thing, man. Look, Simi Fehoko may not be a dude now. I bet you in a couple years, Simi Fehoko gonna be a dude for you. That's just what this thing has been. Just the dudes that we draft, even in day 3, if they don't leave and get picked up on somebody's practice squad or get cut like Michael and Joe Jackson, if they just hang around on this team, they end up doing something, and they end up being good at it, man. Hey, man, you know, but
Joe, are we top 5, Joe?
Go ahead though. D-line, sure.
Yeah, I think the conversation definitely there, man. They said on the broadcast this team is 71% homegrown. That's amazing. Number 1 in the league.
Talk about it, Joe.
That's what the Cowboys do, and that's what they're going to keep doing. Every offseason, the Cowboys fan, I want this free agent, this outside guy, this and that. And
they wanted Jamal Adams. Think about that.
Oh, that was – and he's already on IR game 1. So,
you wanted Bobby Wagner. You wanted Jamal Adams. You want
Earl
Thomas.
What
about the guys you got? You wanted
Earl Thomas. You got to draft and develop, right? You got to draft and develop, but you also got to have the coaches in place, and I think DQ plus the talent in here is a great recipe for success, because I mean, look what happened when we had Mike Nolan. You know what I mean? It was terrible. But you get a guy with cred, DQ, he just steps everybody up, man. It's amazing, right? The defense, like you said, travels well. Your defense has to travel. This defense does, and it's going to keep you in a lot of games.
3 touchdowns all year, Joe. I think you're making great points. So is Voch. We're going to get to this question because this is really interesting. And I want to ask Voch. He's scheme film guy.
Sure.
Because I'm going to tell you something. Donovan Wilson is playing amazing football. But before we do that, let's talk about – I want you guys to understand just what's going to happen with so we're going to get to this Donovan Wilson. We got time today, guys. We got time. I got time. All right, we got time. Now, this offensive line for the Commanders is, if the Bengals are the worst offensive line in the league, the Commanders are very close to the second or third. For it's just a travesty. This is what happens when you don't draft well. This is what happens when you don't make decisions on Trent Williams that are smart. This is what happens. Mm-hmm. And again, that's not my problem. Nope. That's not, the Cowboys have done a great job with draft and development, finding pieces. Now, there's been times where maybe they didn't hit, but when they did, and we're rolling with it. You're looking at guys like, they don't even have Brandon Scherf anymore. Cosme, trash. Leno, trash. Trey Turner, complete trash. And so the ball's going to come out quick this week, Voch. Scheme-wise, with those 3 receivers that they have, and we'll talk about that too as well. What do you see the Commanders doing this week to try to negate our pass rush and how good we are up front?
What teams have tried to do for us is and not just get rid of the ball quick, but they try to misdirect us. You know what I mean? Run the
Scott Turner
screens.
will do that, yes.
You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. And that's cool, but how long can you play misdirection and how many screens can you really run? At some point, you're gonna have to do something on offense with a little bit of substance. They're gonna try to run the football, but they're not good at it because their O-line's bad. I think their best bet to win the game is to throw the football. And Carson can throw the football. He's just bad at it. He will throw us the football also. He will hold the football. And if he's gonna, and this is what's so dope about this formula, right? I was on Twitter. I was arguing with this Washington fan. I ain't even thinking how brilliant this was till I saw him fussing about it. He say, "Oh, you just hit Diggs with a double move, and that's a touchdown." And that might be the case. But where you gonna get time to get double moves off? That's what's important about this thing.
Yeah.
Right. So the only way teams have gotten time on us, and this is just me putting 3 games of film together for us. The only way teams have gotten time on us is if they leave guys in to help block. So now you got 3 receivers versus 7 guys dropping back. Because if you look at last game, we've only got pressure with 4 and 5. We ain't doing crazy
blitz. That's how you
blitz
play football now.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you can double move, but you're throwing into 7-man coverage. And I still think we could beat your 7-man blocking scheme or whatever. And when they're not doing that, Foster King, you know what I'm saying? You can try to quit game us if you want to, but
that's what I think they're gonna try to do.
But Foots, what Foots? You know what I'm saying? So I just don't think that it's gonna work for him. I think what's gonna happen is you're gonna force Carson Wentz to throw the ball, and they're gonna get themselves into a points deficit. And then when they're in the points deficit, then that's when pass rush opens up, and the rest of the game gonna be just good to go. Washington played Philly close for the first quarter. And then Philly scored 24 points in the second quarter. And y'all can say what y'all want about the 24 points. And then Philly ain't scored nothing else in quarter 3 and 4.
In quarter 3, I noticed that. Yeah.
So they can make this a tough game for you, but if you take care of business, you'll be fine.
Yeah. Thoughts, Joe?
Yeah, I think this team needs to make another statement here in the division. It's another division game. Let's backslap these guys up and down the field. I'm going to predict that we're going to knock this guy out, dude. We're going to see Sam Howell in this game at some point.
You might.
He's fumbling and bumbling. I love it.
Yes.
I love that Carson Wentz is back in the division because he's not good. He's terrible. So interceptions. I mean, I think we're going to have takeaways, sacks. It's going to be a whole combination of a defensive domination game, bro.
To your point, Joe, when he's bad and when his body language is off, it's just awful. I mean, it's bad.
But to be fair, though, Carson is talented. And they got 3 receivers that I think can play.
We're about to talk about them.
Curtis Samuels, Dotson, Terry McLaurin. They can play.
Dotson, I was a big fan of coming out, and he's shown that he could play. It's weird how they've completely, a few years ago, they could actually run the ball, and they actually played decent offensive. They actually had decent offensive line play. And the receiving core was just okay outside of McLaurin. But then now the offensive line is a complete turnstile. And they actually do have good weapons on the edge. And I think Scott Turner, like the Jags game, he did some nice things and some design stuff. And Curtis Samuel is one of those guys you have to tackle. So you can't have Jordan Lewis diving and all those types of things because they'll put him in the backfield. They'll use him as a running back. They'll do all sorts of things. So you have to bring your hard hat. But we have a guy named Donovan Wilson.
Sure.
That, for my money, is playing some of the best safety in the NFL, and it's been noted articles and rankings and the whole 9. Joe, did Kurtz lose his job?
No, no, he didn't lose his job. He's too good to lose his job. But what you have now is it's just really good rotation. You know what I mean? They're going to find ways to have Donovan Wilson in the game. You know what I mean?
Correct.
His only knock has been his durability. Outside of that, he can play, right? So he's definitely – I'm not going to say he's going to take over Kurtz's spot by any means. I think Kurtz comes back, gets his snaps, gets his feet back under him, and he's making plays again. So I'm not worried about that.
Maybe different packages, Joe?
Yeah, definitely different packages. They're gonna have something for him, but
All
yeah,
three of them on the field. I like the way Hooker's been playing as a middle field player, Voch.
Booker's
He
been
does a lot.
amazing, bro.
People
Yeah,
don't understand.
yes, yeah, that's a good point. I think Hooker's
He's
been
over the top of
a little
everything.
bit of an
Voch,
unsung hero back there.
When
absolutely, Joe. Voch,
when
take it.
when J. Ron comes back, it'll actually make Curse better. Because Curse is used best as a, and this
You mean
sounds weird.
Donovan? When Donovan, he'll make
What I
Donovan
say,
better.
Donovan. My bad. When J. Ron comes back,
I
it'll
know you
make.
did like 3 shows for the volume, Voch. We got you on the back end. It's all love, bro.
It'll make Donovan Wilson better, right? Because I think Donovan Wilson is at his best when he's just banging his head into shit. If that makes sense, right?
Mhm.
Think about Micah, right? When we try to make Micah the true Mike Green dot guy, he's fine, but we like Micah better when he just go tear shit up, right? So J. Ron Curse. And I had this pulled up in my phone here, Foots. Week 1 when J. Ron was healthy, right?
Mm-hmm.
J. Ron Curse played 42 snaps, and even him being healthy, playing 42 snaps, Donovan Wilson played 51, right? And if you go back and watch that film, and just in case somebody's curious, Hooker played 48. So just in case anybody's curious, all 3 of them gonna play. All 3 of them they're gonna be on the field at the same time. And Dan is the mad scientist with this. So Donovan could be deep strong if he wants to, but J. Ron will be big nickel linebacker guy. You know what I mean? J. Ron could be deep strong, but then just the other day versus the Giants, you'll see Donovan down in the box banging his head and stuff. You see what I'm saying? So you'll see Donovan at free sometimes, and Malik Hooker, he hit like a box safety. I love the fact that. I love the fact that you got 3 safeties that can cover and can hit. And there's even going to be situations moving forward, where we just have to match up, and Donovan may have to play full-time strong while J. Ron chase the tight end around to cover him. You know what I mean? So right. J. Ron is really J. Ron Curse is more of a utility weapon that plays safety, but he's all over the place. Donovan is really your true starting strong safety. And J. Ron is your leader. He's your green dot guy. He's your all over the place guy. He's your Dan puts him wherever you want to put him at. So this ain't no controversy at all. Curse ain't taking, Donovan ain't taking Curse spot. They all play together when they together. Actually, while Donovan was out there last week, you saw a whole bunch of Izzy in the game. You'll just see a lot less Izzy when J. Ron comes back. So yeah, there's no safety controversy.
We talked about this in the offseason, fellas. It's such a good problem to have with Bell and Izzy, and it's just crazy. Again, I gotta give credit to this front office. Safety was an issue for us doing draft shows years ago, Voch. Joe, I was always trying to get that roof player, right?
Yeah.
And then now look. And they just stayed patient and developed. And obviously, you have one of the better, if not the, I think that it's safe to say Dan Quinn is probably the best defensive coordinator in the league. What he did to flip that defense over like that, it's just amazing. And I can honestly say, the only question I have, and actually Lisa just hit on it, and I guess we'll just jump in. The only question that I have, Voch,
what's the name? What's the name?
You put me on the spot.
Yeah, what's the name? What you just said? What you say?
It's Lisa.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I got guys. Okay, go ahead. What's that?
Voch, you. So
what? It's Aisha, man. Aisha.
It's Aisha. I see the L.
It's a capital I lowercase. It's 2 Aisha. What up, Aisha? I got you. Go ahead first. Lisa. My bad, man. Go ahead. I just had my fault. Go ahead.
I always mess that up. I'm bad with names.
Hey, we talk about what do y'all think of Anthony Barr so far? LVE, or are we looking for the drill?
Well, let me ask you this: how does LVE run?
Run as like an athlete?
Well.
To be fair,
Voch, don't be political.
No,
LVE looks slow out there. He looks slow, Voch.
I don't think he looks terribly slow. I just think your defense got so much faster, Foots. I think your defense has gotten faster. And look, we can't have Pro Bowlers.
Aisha, he looks slow.
No, see, Foots, we can't have Pro Bowlers everywhere. You know what I mean? And if Van Der Esch is your 11th guy, I can't complain if he's your 11th guy. But I do think And I'll say this too, Foots. Since we on it, we talking about Stephen Jones and coaching staff and them. At some point, we got to trust these dudes, right? At some point, we got like we'll get pissed off about something that they doing and it just ends up being okay. I think it's a reason Brillo ain't out there. You know what I mean? He's healthy. Jabril healthy's fine. You know, he's cool. You know what I mean? And he's definitely faster than Van Der Esch, if that's the question that you're asking me. Yeah, Jabril is definitely faster than Van Der Esch. But something's happening in that practice that we don't know about. And I would love to, you know, just ask around to ask a coach or something like that. Like, hey, what's going on with Brillo? And I actually asked the guy that talked to a dude, and they was like, yeah, man, you know, Brillo's a 4th round guy. You know, and we do kind of treat him like a 2nd round dude because we looked at him as a 2nd round guy, but they drafted him as a 4th round guy. So they're treating him as a 4th round guy. You know, I would love to just at least see what he can do, but I think they know a lot better than us in this situation.
Joe, do we want LV on the field here?
I think they like the size. I think they like the size is what it is because it's like, you know, they like Voch made a good point though. Like everybody got a lot faster, so it makes it look like he's kind of running somewhat, but he's making plays out there. I don't have anything against him, but I do want to see Jabril to steal Cox out there because this guy, he puts the whipping on people, man.
I will say too, though, Foots, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, you know, if you look at how we're using Van Der Esch is playing a lot more downhill now. Like he's gotten sacks now. He's had Mike, but he's playing more like a Sam, which is interesting. But he's not the Sam. And it's like we got 3 Sams out there, which is strange. You know what I mean? Like Micah and what's his name and Anthony or whatever. Barton Van Der Esch. It's like we're playing with 3 downhill linebackers, and that may be what Dan Quinn is doing because what Brillo's good at, Brillo is a cover guy. You know what I mean? Brillo had his deficiencies in the run game, but what he's good at, he's going out there covering tight ends, covering receivers. Maybe Dan just won 3 downhill linebackers, man. So I don't know. Good question, Lisa. Go ahead.
Aisha, that's how I remember it. She's like the girl that I never. Hey, that's how I remember it. Listen, I'm terrible with names, so don't ever put me on the spot like that, Bob. That's my girl too, man.
I got
you. You know what she's doing with the girl talk on the Cowboys.com? Like that's crazy because she really know her stuff.
Yes, she's really good on there. Yes,
she know her stuff, and she really locked out. She locked in. Okay, this is. And Chrissy B, if I'm reading correctly, I don't know. It's Friday.
What's the name? What's the name?
All right, but hey, we got to talk about Anthony Barr though. We didn't really address.
Hey, we got to talk about. He had a really good rush.
He's gotten better. He's gotten better. You know, week one, he was looking terrible week 1, but he's getting better by the week though. He's
working him in.
He's getting better by the week.
He always has a penalty that's like, dude, Barr, what are you doing? Like, why are you hitting the quarterback late? Why are you?
That's Sam.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, is that? Sam. Hey, bro, if Sam cleans up those QB hits,
Sam get a goddamn unnecessary roughness every game, man. But that dude
is that what Barr got one in? Didn't Barr get one in the second game? Or am I tripping? Barr got one. Maybe he got one in the Bucks game.
It was Sam and Donovan. Joe Burrow was sliding and Donovan hit him. And this week, Daniel Jones was run out of bounds and Sam just hit him.
He's getting close, though. He's getting close to home.
He's on his way, man. He's only going to get better as the season goes on, too, right? So by the end of the year, we're going to be in business, man. This defense is going to be mauling people right when you need it, right? Right when you need it on that run.
For sure.
Man, facts. And so Chrissy B actually had a great point that I was going to get to. So Jordan Lewis, they're going to use Curtis Samuel in the slot box. That's like what's going to happen. What I want to know is this a game where you see Bland, if for nothing else, of how well he tackles? I think it's safe to say we're not going to call Kelvin Joseph a bust, but he just can't get on the field. And Anthony Brown is really, really solid. So it's just no way for him to get on the field right now. So you can't call him a bust.
Got hurt, when Diggs got hurt last week for like 3 plays, whatever, KJ was the first guy out there. So I think Joseph is the first man up. Yeah.
And listen, your DBs are good right now, bro. Like Anthony Brown is Mr. Reliable. But I think that Bland can play the nickel. And I think he can play the slot and follow a guy or give issues to a guy like Sam, because you're going to need quick guys out there that can tackle in space. Can Bland get on the field, or am I just wishing.
I think somebody got to get hurt for him to get on the field, but it's a good problem to have. It's a good problem to have. And if anything, I like what Bland did in the preseason because now he may not play for us this year, but at least we know that he can play, and we'll just work into developing him for like next year or year after that or whatever. Because at some point Jordan Lewis not going to be back, and when Jordan Lewis goes, Bland will just slide right there.
That's what it is, man. These guys, they have it kind of almost planned out this way, right? Like,
is he up next? Bland up next?
Right.
Yeah,
Clark,
Bell,
Clark, the
Marquise Bell.
Yeah, man. I like it, man. I think
draft and develop, man.
Yes.
I keep forgetting about Damone Clark, and thank you, Adrian. Let me make sure I'm reading Adrian Lindsay. Thank you for the super chat. Hey, y'all, hit the super chats up. Let's get some questions going. Damone Clark is healthy, but I don't think he's gonna even think about being on the field this year, and I don't think there's a need to. Let him redshirt, let him learn the league, and let him get better. Guys, questions. You guys hit us up. We got about 5 to 10 more minutes. It's been a great show. While you guys are doing questions, Voch, Joe, is this a trap game? When I say a trap game, I think that Dallas is going to win. I think that we've drafted better. I think that we have a better roster. I don't think that people fall in love with players and forget roster and forget that everything starts up front. And at some point, that line, that offensive line is going to hurt you. But they do have good players on that defensive line. We didn't really talk about them, but obviously they've obviously drafted high on that defensive line year after year. Montez Sweat, what's my kid? They went back to back to the well at Alabama. So to me, is this a trap game? Could there be a situation where, hey, they come out, they stop the run a little bit, you had to throw the ball, maybe interception early? I don't know. Is this a trap game? Are we too high, or what? How do we feel? Chase Young, yes. They went Jonathan Allen and then Deron Payne. But is this a trap game, guys? This is my bigger question. Is it a trap game?
I don't feel like it's a trap game. I think maybe a little bit further down the season, if we're like 8-1 or whatever, we're on this big roll, and then one of these target teams, that's more of a trap game. This is still kind of early.
Correct.
The players, they're hearing all the noise. You hear them in the interviews. That hey, we're gonna play and we're gonna win. They don't care about the outside noise. So I think they're on a mission to prove a point. You know what I mean? So I don't think it's a trap game. I want it to be another statement game for the division. Backhand these guys left and right, like I said, all 4 quarters, and let's go to work, man.
And it's crazy that we looking at Cooper Rush in this way. You know what I mean? Cooper Rush, hey, maybe a trap game. Yeah, watching football. Hey, like look at where we at with Cooper Rush now. You know what I mean? I still think like we still the 30th ranked offense in the league. You know what I mean? So if we don't take care of business, it can get bad. But I don't think I don't think this qualifies for trap game. I think our defense is so much better that we look at Washington like they're inferior, and that, us. But it ain't like we beat the shot of the Giants. Like we barely beat the Giants. You know what I mean? So we still gotta, move with an era of urgency because Cooper Rush playing ball or whatever. But I think we'll be fine. I think we'll be fine versus Washington football. We're just, man, we got to play some defense and score when we can, man. We'll score about 20 points. They'll score 14, maybe. 13.
Okay, I like what Voch is saying. Don't get too high, don't get too low. It'll be times where we don't get many. Yeah, it's don't get. It's all love. Okay, here we go. April Showers. I was on the ledge. Now I'm with it. Now I'm in. Will Mike McCarthy be able to reel Kellen in the whole season to make a run for the playoffs? I'll go first. April, I believe that we have turned the corner with. Oh, okay, let me say this. I think that Mike is saying, listen, if I'm going to go out, if there's speculation, whatever the case, I lost my quarterback. First of all, Voch, give Mike McCarthy a war call for, if nothing else, losing his quarterback and getting 2 wins. Not even 1 win, just getting 2 wins. After the Bucs game, everybody in this chat had us going 0-16. The season's over. That was a good Bucs game. Let's be honest. You're gonna lose. You're gonna lose to the Bengals. We're done. Does Mike get any credit? So, April, in that, I would like to see Mike definitely stylistically keep some of this when 4 comes back. What do I mean? I tweeted it and I said, listen, I do believe that Dak can learn while he's on the bench. Can he learn how to play the position from Cooper Rush? Absolutely not. He's a better player. Cooper Rush is a backup. He's a career backup, and that's what he can do. But I do think that, hey, press, check down here. Hey, more design play action because Dak is really good in play action. He's still a great athlete. Like, call the game very similarly to how you're calling it for Rush. You don't have to go so much spread. Dictate to the defense what you want to happen, and Dak will still make plays with his legs in that sense. I think that you can make the games cleaner that way. That being said, I do think that Mike will, because I think that when Mike sees things getting away from us, I think he'll go in Kellen's office and reel him in. So yes, I do. Joe, what do you think? Voch, what do you think?
Yeah, I think that McCarthy kind of mentioned it, about just playing a little bit smarter, calling smarter plays, I guess you could say. Especially like we saw some of those goofy plays there in that first game. Some of those reverses back to back and crap like that. So I like what they've done so far. Just keep this formula, keep it clean. Don't get cute, and just do what the Cowboys do. Win in the trenches. Be balanced with the running game and the passing game, and let everything take care of itself. And I think it will with this top tier defense. The defense is top tier.
Absolutely.
So the offense just needs to not turn the ball over, and you'll be in it every single game.
Absolutely.
Yeah, y'all said it.
Voch. Okay, well, I'm not letting you get off the hook, Voch, because you dropped a bomb that I didn't even know. I didn't know we were the 30th ranked offense. That's actually,
man, we ain't doing shit on offense, man.
and I ain't gonna lie to you. Some of these stats, you gotta kind of wait till week 8, week 9. It's so early. I think that our offense will be top 10 before it's all said and done with Gallup, and then when Dak gets back, I think that the yards will start going up. Okay, let me get to this super chat. I'm gonna let y'all go. If Fournier struggles, this is Voch. Voch, I want you to take this one. You know the O-line well. Sure. And this is actually going to be a huge test at guard because they have really good D-tackle play. If Fournier struggles against Washington, do they move Peters to starting guard from here on out? Voch, take it.
If Fournier struggles against Washington, the Cowboys. I think the only reason Fournier was starting last week was because Peters wasn't ready to have the full workload yet. Jason Peters told Nick Eatman that he could have played the whole game. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if they go full-time Jason Peters this game and just kind of see where he's at. I don't know if Fournier starts or whatnot, but Jason Peters better than Fournier. So I think that they can't wait to and then look, man, let's not forget, if Jason Peters is a full-time guard now, then Fournier is technically your 4th left guard right now. You know what I mean? Like he's your 4th guard right now. And when I'm grading the offensive line, that's how he looks. He typically comes in towards the bottom. So I think they can't wait to put Jason Peters in there. They can't wait to get Connor McGovern back. I would love to see Tyler Smith at left guard, but yeah, I don't think they want to see Fournier starting at left guard. So yeah, if we don't see Peters play one, then if Fournier struggles, we'll definitely see him there.
Okay, cool. Last one, guys. I'm going to let these guys go. They've been working all week, give you guys great content. So let's get here with this one. What is a starting quarterback's true monetary value? Is it better to have a $30 million starter and a $10 million backup? Great defense makes me ask this. In short, that's a very loaded question. I'm going to just say this. Everybody doesn't have our defense. Everybody doesn't draft like us, so it's really, really tough. You got to stay healthy. This is a quarterback-driven league. Just here's what it is. You're not going to win without a good one. So it's kind of hard to answer this.
Okay, so what he's saying is would you rather have greater show on turf, or would you have like how the Ravens won the Super Bowl or whatever, or how the Bucks won the Super Bowl?
I'd rather have a crunching defense. I mean, here's the thing: they're so hard to build of Voch because we really got lucky with longevity with DeMarcus Lawrence, striking gold with Micah Parsons, Trayvon Diggs in the 2nd round, looking like an all-pro corner for years to come. We just talked about how long we've been looking, and we were talking about drafting Taylor Rapp and all these guys. Excuse me. So we got lucky with building this. I wouldn't say lucky. We put the work in to get this great defense, but it's hard. It's hard, Voch. You think about it. The Commanders are using premium picks on their D line, and their defense, it hasn't affected their overall defense. It's hard.
Listen, man, I'm not trying to roll up versus Josh Allen with damn Cooper Rush. You know what I'm saying? Like if the Cowboys were to go to the Super Bowl, I don't feel good about Cooper Rush versus Josh. Like I understand that we're winning games.
Yeah.
We beat the Cincinnati Bengals because their line was bad. Okay, cool. We beat the Giants because we're a better team than them all together. Fine. At some point, you need quarterback, bro. You need your quarterback to be a quarterback. I think we just have the luxury that we have a quarterback that's expensive that can play and a good defense. You know what I mean? So I think that we should just do whatever we got to do to take advantage of that. You know what I mean? But I don't want to ever look at the idea like, hey, let's try and save $30 million, cut that, and keep Cooper Rush. Like that don't make sense. Keep your guy. Keep your stud at quarterback and just build around that.
But when Dak went down, it was almost Bryce Young season, baby.
Relax.
Oh my goodness!
I'm playing. I'm just playing with y'all. Hey man, but I think it's Voch hit it on the head, man. You don't want to do Cooper Rush versus the top tier guy. It's just not gonna happen. So yeah, let Dak. I do want to let Dak heal up 100% though. So if he keeps winning, let Dak keep healing. You know, get that
There's
grip.
No controversy whatsoever.
Yeah, there's no
At some point
controversy.
too, that's not fair for your defense, man. That's not fair for your defense to have to keep bailing your offense out like that. Like you beat the Giants by what?
Voch, you cannot. I'm going to argue here, Voch. You cannot rush this back, especially.
I'm not saying rush Dak back. I'm not saying rush Dak back, but what I'm saying is just be, because I even see somebody else in the comments. It was like they said Cooper's handling it just fine. Okay, well, what's your idea of handling it? Like the Giants aren't a good football team. We barely won that game. Dak blows that team out. I'm not saying play Dak last week, but what I am saying is that let's not get into this idea of, hey, we fine without Dak. You know what I mean? Quarterback controversy. We got a good defense.
That's what I'm saying.
Let's have a good defense and a good quarterback. It don't make sense to me. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, no, and this could all come to fruition once we play the Rams. It could all come crashing down like,
Cooper Rush stinks up the house versus the Rams. All this shit goes away.
That's right. That's
all this goes away.
Yeah, it will totally, bro.
It's gone out the window. Where's Dak? When's for it? How's that thing going?
How's your hand, Dak? Shake my hand. You good? You straight? All right, come on. You good?
Yeah.
Nah, I think it's funny. I do think that Mike deserves credit. I think that Cooper has done his job. He's in the league, and he's just doing what he's paid to do. And we're gonna leave it there. You drafted well. I will say this. I want to toot everybody. I want to toot all of these guys' horns. Joe, Voch, we have been on the side of guys relax. Tyler Smith has got to start a tackle. Guys relax. No, you're not gonna go get Nate Solder or whoever is out there. Relax. We're going to lose Amari Cooper. Guys, relax. I know people don't want to hear that. I know Amari Cooper looks great in Cleveland. But guess what? You're winning games. I mean, I get it, but you're winning games and you're more balanced. Guys, relax. So I know that we err on the side of draft. I know I do. I err on the side of draft, team develop. Thank God that we have a team that drafts and develops well. You found guys like Turpin who are changing special teams for you. You found guys in gyms, and that's what this front office does. So I learned something new today. Find the scrub. Voch, I'm still in that. I love it. Find the scrub. I want to let these guys go because they work hard. Voch, tell everybody where they can find you. We got 300 people in the chat. I mean, on the live. I don't even do live, so I know that that's Voch and Joe that brought those people here because it isn't me. Voch, where can they find you? Because I know they know where to. Where can they find you?
VOCHLOMBARDI Voch Lombardi on YouTube and the volume. Shouts out to the volume. The volume, that's Colin Cowherd's network, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Central. Appreciate y'all. And Voch Lombardi on Twitter. I'll be on Twitter talking shit.
We be going at it on Twitter.
Sure.
Joe, where can they find you?
I love the war chant.
Oh, so I do it again, Joe. I do it again, Joe. Since you like it so much, I do it again.
Dude, I love that shit, bro. It's so good. Man, you guys can find me on YouTube. Just look me up, Cowboys Blog and Cowboys Blog Net on Twitter. And that's where it's at, man. It's a privilege to work with Voch and Foots as usual. You guys are great, man. It's great working with the Goats.
This is how much better Joe is than me. I just went to Vistaprint and got a dumb little poster with Volume 306 on it in a goofy little Walmart frame. Joe got the goddamn Joe painted his on the wall. You know what I mean? Like, come on, Joe. Is that paint or is that a fathead sticker? What is that, Joe?
Which one, bro?
The Cowboys blog.
That's hard. Yeah, that is.
Oh
hard.
no, that's Etsy, bro. I got on Etsy, found somebody that made sign, but dude, that was a bitch to put on there, bro. I'll tell you that.
Wow,
man.
It's a nice
really
mystery.
That's nice. Hey, that is nice, Joe. You
a crooked poster with volume on it, but Joe got.
Well, hold on, Voch.
Sorry,
Voch, what about my background? I painted my whole.
That's fine. That's cool, man.
You see how Voch do me, y'all.
Let Joe have his moment first. Yours is okay.
Hey, give Joe a war call. I'm sorry. Let it.
No, shit. I play this shit all day. God damn you, ass. Play this shit again.
Hey, listen. All seriousness, though, guys. I can't thank you guys enough. This was very last minute. I know that these guys be busy. Voch is killing it on a volume. Man, Voch broke through. Voch broke through to mainstream, and he don't act mainstream at all. He done brought the hood to the White House, baby. He ain't changed. He ain't got Hollywood, and I appreciate him. Me and Joe been rocking since '99. Y'all already know what time we
sunglasses. Hell yeah.
Oh Lord, here we go. Listen, me and Joe, we've been rocking since '99. My last question, guys, and I'm gonna let y'all go. Thank you guys for all that. I can't say thank you enough. What college football are you guys watching tomorrow?
Go ahead, Joe. Answer the question while I look up the games for tomorrow.
I just turn it on. I don't know the schedule. I'm not gonna lie. I just put CBS, Fox, whatever, and just go with it. See who's playing.
How about this? Let's do this, Foots. Appalachian State. I want to know how many draft dudes they got. Huh? How about them guys?
Listen. I'm just on right now. I'll be honest. I'm just really. This is gonna sound weird. I got a bunch of prospects who I'm looking at. But right now, the craze of football for me is Wake Forest's offense. I know that sounds crazy, but that's
what's about App State too. Like these dudes, like these small schools, they getting these coaches. They coming up, man.
They are. No, they really are. But in all seriousness, though, I'm gonna be watching that Clemson NC State game tomorrow. Some good D linemen in that game. Brian Breesy. Some good D linemen on NC State. Quarterback play as well for NC State is really good. So that's the game I'm gonna be watching. And listen, I actually, to be honest with you, I'm glad that we're not doing draft talk right now. That means that the Cowboys it's way too soon. That means that the Cowboys are actually doing good. But when you want draft talk, a lot of people can fake it, but the three on this screen.
Oh, sure. We work, man.
I ain't gonna knock nobody now. But when it come to draft talk, that's when I think we the only three that really stay afloat. When it come to that draft talk. So
come on, man. Add Jeff too, because Jeff is technically a YouTuber.
Jeff a bad boy. Jeff my guy. Jeff a bad boy. And he ain't bougie as well. Listen, we're gonna let y'all go. Thank you guys so much for spending your Friday night with us. You could have been anywhere in the world. My name is Foots the King on Twitter and on IG. Shout out to me for bringing these guys on. I feel like I'm that dude. It's your boy Foots. Peace. We gone.
Peace.